Hi students, this is Srinivas, Department of Botany. This video was shooted with cell phone camera. That's why I request you to use your earphones. This is period 7 out of 17 periods. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In this chapter, I am going to discuss about pollination. What is pollination? Why this pollination is required for the plant? What are the types of pollination? Those points we have to discuss. What is pollination? See, pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anthers to the stigma is called pollination. Transfer of pollen grains from anther and they may fall on stigma. This is called pollination. Why this pollination is needed for the plant? Because the pollen grain contains male gametes. In the previous class, we discussed each pollen grain contains how many male gametes? 2 male gametes. Each pollen grain contains 2 male gametes. And why these pollen grains may fall on stigma means, see, this is the gynoecium. Gynoecium contains how many parts? 3 parts. The basal bulged part of gynoecium is called ovary. The elongated slender part is called style. And the terminal part, round part is called stigma. The stigma will receive the pollen grains. And the pollen grain, when they fall on stigma, the pollen grain with 2 male gametes enter into the stigma and then enter into the style and then enter into the ovary and finally enter into the ovule. These are ovules. Inside the ovule, how many female gametophytes or embryo sacs present? Only one. That embryo sac contains how many female gametes? 1. So that means the pollen grain enters into stigma and then style and then ovary and then ovule and then embryo sac and then it fuses, the male gamete fuses with female gamete. Then fertilization occurs. So that means pollination initially occurs, later fertilization occurs. So that means pollination precedes fertilization. That means initially pollination process occurs, later fertilization occurs. Isn't it? Is it clear? Right. What is pollination means? The transfer of pollen grains from anthers to the stigma is called pollination. That means, that is the definition. So, whether this pollination is direct or indirect, that is of 2 types. Pollination is of 2 types. Direct pollination, indirect pollination. What is direct and what is indirect? Direct pollination means, see, look at this figure. This is megasporophyll which is found in gymnosperm. Look at this figure. This is megasporophyll in gymnosperms. These are naked ovules. Previous class I discussed naked ovules found in gymnosperms. So pollen grains directly fall on micropyle of the ovary. So pollen grains directly fall on ovule or pollen grains directly fall on micropyle of ovule. This is so called direct pollination. Direct pollination occurs in gymnosperms. So direct pollination occurs in gymnosperms. What is the reason? Is there any presence of ovary here in gymnosperms? No. So that is ovary is absent. Ovary is absent or naked ovules are present in gymnosperms. This is the reason for occurrence of direct pollination in gymnosperms. So direct pollination occurs in gymnosperms. What is the reason for that? presence of naked ovules. What does it mean? Naked ovules. Ovary is absent. Ovary is absent. Look at the figure once again. This group is so called gymnosperms, and this entire structure is called megasporophyll. On that megasporophyll, laterally number of ovules are present. These ovules are naked ovules. So this is the pollen grain. Pollen grain may directly fall on ovule. Pollen grains are directly fall on ovule or directly fall on micropyle of ovule. It is so called direct pollination, which is found in gymnosperms. Now, what is indirect pollination? Indirect pollination occurs in angiosperms. Now, look at this figure. This is angiosperms gynoecium. The basal bulged part is called ovary. Elongated slender part is called style. The terminal part is called stigma. The pollen grain receptivity part is called stigma. So, this is the pollen grain. Where does it, the pollen grain will be fallen? It will be fall on stigma, not directly on ovule. Here directly on ovule, but here not directly on ovule. It is fallen on stigma. So, indirect pollination occurs in angiosperms. What is the reason for that means? Ovary is enclosing the ovules. Ovary is enclosing the ovules, or ovary is present. That is the reason for occurrence of indirect pollination in angiosperms. So indirect pollination occurs in angiosperms. Direct pollination occurs in gymnosperms. Pollen grains directly fall on micropyle of ovule is called direct pollination. Pollen grains directly fall on stigma is called. Pollen grains directly fall on stigma is called indirect pollination. Try to remember, directly fall on stigma is called indirect pollination. Why we are saying indirect means it has to come and reach the ovule. That's why it is indirect. Where does it is falling? On stigma. So that is, it is so called indirect pollination. So based on direct or indirect, it is of two types. Another type of classification is there. Whether it occurs in one flower or two flowers, this pollination is also two types: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is also called autogamy. Cross-pollination is also called allogamy. Auto means self. Gamy means fusion. Allo means different. Gamy means fusion. What is self-pollination? That means here this is a plant and this is a flower. A means androecium, G means gynoecium. Here from anther, pollen grains are fallen on stigma of gynoecium. So transfer of pollen grains from anthers to the stigma of same flower. From anthers to the stigma of same flower, it is so called self-pollination, also called autogamy. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flower. Here, it requires how many flowers? It requires only one flower. That's why it is also called single flowered pollination. Single flowered pollination is autogamy. And is it a bisexual flower or a unisexual flower means? Autogamy occurring means from anther pollen grains are released and they may fall on stigma of gynoecium. That means that flower should possess both the two types of sex organs. If a flower is having two types of sex organs, that is male part and female part, that is androecium and gynoecium, those flowers are called bisexual flowers. A flower is having both androecium and gynoecium, those flowers are called bisexual flowers. If a flower is having only androecium and no gynoecium, it is so called male flower. A flower is having only gynoecium, no androecium, it is called female flower or pistillate flower. Once again I am repeating, a flower with both the sex organs, androecium and gynoecium, is called bisexual flower. If a flower is having only one sex organ, those are called unisexual flowers. These are of two types. A flower is having only male reproductive part called androecium and no gynoecium, it is called male flower, also called staminate flower. If a flower is having only gynoecium and no androecium, it is so called female flower, also called pistillate flower. Autogamy occurs in. Autogamy occurring means this one. That is from androecium to gynoecium of same flower. That means this flower should possess both the sex organs. There the autogamy occurring means those flowers should be definitely bisexual flowers. So autogamy occurs in bisexual flowers only. Autogamy never occurs in unisexual flowers. How? Because in unisexual flowers, how many sex organs are present? Only one sex organ. If one sex organ is present, is there may be occurrence of cross pollination? No. So that means autogamy occurs in bisexual flowers only. All bisexual flowers do not show autogamy. Most of the bisexual flowers may show cross pollination. Very few flowers will show autogamy. Majority of bisexual flowers show allogamy and few bisexual flowers show autogamy. These points we have to remember, my dear students. Are you understanding? Okay. Next, second one is, what are the required conditions for self-pollination? What are the required conditions to occur self-pollination? Autogamy requires, that means whenever the androecium or anther matures, at the same time the gynoecium should also mature. That is, both the two sex organs mature at same timing. That is synchronizing maturity. Synchronizing maturity. So that is synchrony. That means same time. That is pollen releasing time and stigma receiving time should be same. That is the first point. Synchrony in pollen release and stigma receptivity. Anthers and stigma should lie close to each other. These are the two required conditions. So again I am repeating, the required conditions to occur self-pollination or autogamy means both the two sex organs maturity is synchronized. Synchronized means same timing maturity. That means pollen grain releasing stigma receptivity should be same time. And second point, both androecium and gynoecium should lie close to each other. These are the two required conditions to perform autogamy. Autogamy is also called self-pollination. Next, I am going to explain about cross-pollination. What is the other name for cross-pollination? Cross-pollination is also called allogamy. Allogamy. Allo means different. That means here two different flowers are required. It is of two types: geitonogamy, xenogamy. Geitonogamy, xenogamy. Now look at this figure. Look at this figure. Here this is one flower and this is another flower. Pollen grains are releasing from one flower to another flower of same plant. Isn't it? Are you understanding? So transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower of same plant, that is so called geitonogamy. So though it looks like cross pollination, that means two flowers are required, but these two flowers belonging to same plant, that means genotypically, genetically these two are same. That means functionally it is cross pollination. Functionally it is cross pollination, but genetically it is self pollination. So functionally it is cross pollination, but genetically it is self pollination, because pollen grains come from same plant. That is very, very important, my dear students. So geitonogamy, pollination between two flowers of same plant. Pollination between two flowers of same plant. It is also called single plant pollination. That is, that autogamy is single flowered pollination. This geitonogamy is single plant pollination. Single plant pollination. Functionally it is allogamy. Genetically it is autogamy. This is very, very important point. Next, xenogamy. 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 This is one plant. This is another plant. Here, pollen grains are transferred from one flower to another flower of different plant of the same species. Suppose if it is hibiscus, means it is also hibiscus. How many plants are required here? 2 plants are required. So transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower of different plant of same species, it is called xenogamy. Xenogamy. How many flowers are required? 2 flowers. How many plants required? 2 plants. Here how many flowers required? 2 flowers. How many plants required? 1 plant. So pollination between 2 flowers of different plants of same species. Same species means always pollination occurs between same species only. If it is hibiscus flower, means it is also hibiscus. If it is datura flower, means it is also datura. Both functionally and genetically cross pollination. That means 2 flowers are required, cross pollination. 2 plants are required, means genetically it is also different. So that is both functionally and genetically cross pollination, because it involves 2 plants. It involves 2 plants. So it is also called true cross pollination. It is very, very important, my dear students. Are you understanding? So which one is considered as true cross pollination? Xenogamy. See once again, here how many flowers are required? 2 flowers. How many plants required? 1. Here how many flowers required? 2 flowers. How many plants required? 2 plants required. Which one is considered as true cross pollination? Xenogamy. Which one is functionally allogamy, genetically autogamy? This one, geitonogamy. Next, which pollination is considered to be both functionally and genetically allogamy? That is xenogamy. Now there are different types of conditions are there. See, this is a plant and this contains androecium and gynoecium. So a plant with bisexual flowers. If a flower is having both androecium and gynoecium, those flowers are to be bisexual flowers. So plant with bisexual flowers. Will autogamy occurs? Is the possibility is there? See, possibility is there or not? Yes. Autogamy occurs. Will geitonogamy occurs means we have to say chances, possibility. From here to, let us suppose, imagine there is another plant here. Is there chance to release pollen grains from here to here? Yes. So that is plant with bisexual flowers, autogamy occurs, geitonogamy occurs, xenogamy also occurs. Monoecious plants. What is monoecious? This is monoecious condition. Both male and female flowers are present on same plant. Both male and female flowers are present on same plant. This condition is called Monoecious condition. If both male and female flowers are present on separate plants, if both male and female flowers are present on different plants, this condition is called dioecious condition. Monoecious condition. Monoecious plants. Monoecious, try to remember. Monoecious means male and female flowers are present on same plant. What is a male flower? Which contains only androecium, no gynoecium. Here female flower means it contains only gynoecium, no androecium. Isn't it? So, is there an occurrence of autogamy in monoecious plants? Autogamy means the pollination requires how many flowers? One flower only. So, here male flower, that means it is having only androecium. No chance to occur autogamy. So, in monoecious plants, autogamy does not occur. Will gytonogamy occur? Two flowers of same plant. See, this is male flower, this is female flower. From male flower, pollen grains will come and they may fall on stigma of gynoecium. So, gytonogamy occur. And imagine another plant is present here. Is there any chance to occur xenogamy? Yes. So, monoecious plants, autogamy does not occur, gytonogamy occurs, xenogamy occurs. Plant with a dioecious condition. This is the dioecious condition. Both male and female flowers are present on separate plants. In dioecious plants, autogamy occurs? No. See, autogamy requires how many flowers? Only one flower. Here, it is male flower, no performing the fertilization. So that is, in dioecious plants, no autogamy, no gytonogamy also. Why? This plant is having all the male flowers. This plant is having all the female flowers. So, in dioecious plants, autogamy does not occur, gytonogamy does not occur, only xenogamy occurs. Xenogamy means this one. So, see, xenogamy occurs in all these three types of plants. Xenogamy occurs in plant with bisexual flowers, monoecious plants, dioecious plants. Whereas dioecious plants show only xenogamy. They do not perform autogamy and gytonogamy. Try to understand, my dear students. This is very, very important points. I am asking a few questions. Xenogamy occurs in plant with bisexual flowers, monoecious plants, dioecious plants. In all the three plants, that xenogamy occurs. Dioecious plants promote only xenogamy, prevent autogamy and gytonogamy. These 2 points are very, very important. And whether the flowers are opened or closed, these are of 2 types. Flowers are of 2 types. Closed flowers are called cleistogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers, which are closed flowers. To remember easily, closed. C-L-O-S-E. That is the spelling of close. To remember easily, I am going to tell. Here also close spelling. C-L-O-S-E. Try to remember like that. Cleistogamous flowers are always closed flowers. True. It's correct. Cleisto means closed. They are always closed. Cleistogamous flowers are always closed. True. They never open. True. So that means they always closed means they perform only autogamy. They perform only autogamy. That means When the flower is closed means that flower is having both the two types of sex organs. No chance to come pollen grains from another flower. That means this flower is always closed. That means the closed flowers, the cleistogamous flowers perform only autogamy. They never perform geitonogamy or xenogamy. The opened flowers are called chasmogamous flowers. The opened flowers are called chasmogamous flowers. Chasmogamous flowers generally they perform allogamy, rarely they perform autogamy. Generally, a plant is having only one type of flowers, either cleistogamous flowers or chasmogamous flowers. But a few plants are having both cleistogamous flowers and chasmogamous flowers. What are they? Both cleistogamous and chasmogamous flowers are found in 1. Viola, commonly called common pansy, and oxalis. Third one, Commelina. What are the three plants having both cleisto and chasmogamous flowers? Viola, oxalis, Commelina. What is the importance of Commelina? It should possess both cleistogamous flowers and chasmogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers are underground. Chasmogamous flowers are aerial. Try to remember. In Commelina, cleistogamous flowers, closed flowers are underground. Chasmogamous flowers are aerial. I am asking one question. In Commelina, cleistogamous flowers are aerial. False. Cleistogamous flowers are underground. True. Here, underground means will the stem will produce flowers or root will produce flowers means the stem will produce flowers. The root never produce flowers. That point also you have to remember. In Commelina, cleistogamous flowers are underground. Okay, it's correct. The stem produces cleistogamous flowers. That point is very, very important. The roots never produce cleistogamous flowers or the roots never produce flowers. So, in Commelina, cleistogamous flowers are underground. Chasmogamous flowers are aerial. Aerial means which grow above the soil. Underground means below the soil. In which type of flowers? Assured seed set even in absence of pollinators. Pollinators means agents of pollination. That is either wind, water, insects, etc. The agents of pollination are called pollinators. If there are no pollinators means in cleistogamous flowers will the seed set formation occurs means definitely the seed set formation occurs even in absence of pollinators. Why? There is no requirement of pollinators. Already cleistogamous flowers means closed flowers. There is no requirement of agent of pollination. That is, no pollinators are required for cleistogamous flowers. In cleistogamous flowers produce assured. Assured means definitely. Cleistogamous flowers produce assured seed set even in absence of pollinators because there is no chance of coming cross pollen grain for landing on the stigma. No chance of cross pollen grains. Cross pollen grains means that pollen grain will be obtained from another flower. There is no chance. Why? Because these are nothing but cleistogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers means closed flowers. So, assured seed set even in absence of flowers. This condition is applicable for cleistogamous flowers. What type of flowers? Cleistogamous flowers. That is very, very important. So, please note down the points. Try to understand. Thank you very much.